In this episode of Cook Carter's Crappy Cramped Kitchen of Chaos, we're going to do homemade oatmeal. And it's really actually a lot faster than you might think. Not as fast as doing the stupid instant stuff, obviously, but it's not very time consuming at all if you do my system. And for one person, I think about 1/3 of a cup of oats is good. You can use steel cut, you can use rolled oats. I used a thick version of rolled oats, which is probably the most time consuming because they're thick. So the ratio of oats to water is 2:1. So I would add 2/3 of a cup of water. I use a pinch of salt. In this case, it's Himalayan salt, so it's a little pink. And then a little bit of oil or butter. You can choose butter if you like butter. I use coconut oil usually. And then afterwards, I either sweeten it up with some honey and cinnamon, or if you want to do the like Quaker brown sugar and maple syrup one, you get brown sugar and maple syrup. Or you can add any other kind of fruits or whatever kind of flavoring you might like. But that's usually what I go with. I usually do cinnamon and honey, or occasionally maybe maple syrup and brown sugar. Okay, so I already got the oats and the salt in there. Turn the stove on to high to get it going quick. Got my 2/3 cup of water to go with my 1/3 cup of oats. As you remember, a 2:1 ratio. And finally, a little bit of, I'm going to use coconut oil. I love it when the camera crashes. Okay, so anyway, water, oats, salt, and then in this case I'm using coconut oil. Get my happy spatula. I probably put, I don't know, anywhere from a teaspoon to a couple teaspoons in, just because, you know, it's good for you, whatever. And finally, if I'm using honey and it's raw organic honey, I wait until I'm done cooking to add it because heat ruins the good stuff in the honey. But in this case, this was some Trader Joe's sample pack. Doesn't have any extra goodness, so it's just for flavoring or sweetening. And again, all this is to your level of preference. There's no exact amounts other than the oats and water ratio. But it just does not want to come out. Might have to switch over to sugar. Okay, we'll come back when this is boiling. And basically what you're going to do, you're going to have this boil and stir it now and then until it's pretty much thickened up. It should take about 5 minutes. Okay, once you got it boiling, that's going kind of crazy. I go ahead and turn the heat down. I had that on high on an electric burner. Now I turn it down to like medium high. Just because it can get away with you, especially if you're like me and you are absent-minded and walk away from it. Next thing you know, water's completely gone and you've just burnt it to the pan. So as you can see, I mean, this isn't taking long at all. We'll come back in a minute. I recommend a non-stick pan, but use what you got. Okay, once it's looking like this, as far as the amount of liquid remaining, I would go ahead and turn the heat off. And depending on your burner, you might want to even remove it from the burner so it doesn't keep cooking too much. Let it cool down. Once it's cooled down a little bit after a few minutes, if you were using the raw organic honey, that's when I would add that along with milk or nut milk or whatever you want, if you want that way that I always do. And that's pretty much it. There's your oatmeal. There you have it. It's really simple, really quick. If you've seen my video on how to make amaranth, it's basically the same concept, other than the fact that the amaranth tends to take substantially longer to cook. Thank you for watching this dreadful episode of Cook Carter's Crappy Cramped Kitchen of Chaos. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Good day.